Hey everybody, I'm Natalie.
I'm Emmanuel.
And I'm Max.
And we're cruising Israel for ILTV.
Welcome to part 2 of our adventures in the north.
We've got a lot of cool stuff planned, so stay tuned.
For all you nature lovers, we're now in Kibbutz Ashdot Yaakov, and as mentioned last week, it's pretty close to Tiberias, the Golan Heights.
And let's not forget Jordan. It's just a drive away, and last week we even got to cross the border, called the King's Gate.
Yeah, and that was really cool. The rooms here at the kibbutz are pretty spacious and comfortable. Emmanuel and I even got to spend the night. The establishment of the kibbutz goes all the way back to the year of 1924. The earliest kibbutzim were founded around 40 years before the establishment of the State of Israel. These communal settlements began with the socialistic ideology and Zionism. Today, I got to go back in time and speak with one of the original kibbutz members, Yonatan Alter, who got to live in a time where the establishment of the state of the Jewish people was still in its early stages. First of all, Yonatan, thank you for having us here at the kibbutz. For the viewers that do not know, in America and everywhere else, what is a kibbutz?
Kibbutz is a society where, that time, where all the people were equal, exactly equal. All the people lived in the same houses. All the people ate the same food in dining room. Nobody get money for his work. You can be the manager of the factory or simple worker in the factory, secretary of the kibbutz. I mean, nobody get money. They get some pocket money, but and they get free food in dining room, free electricity, free house. My parents came in 1935. All of us live in the kibbutz, still living. My parents died already, but all of us live in the kibbutz, and each of us have his own 5 children.
Wow.
My parents
Big family.
My parents had 25 grandchildren in the kibbutz.
Tell us what's behind us right now, Migdal Hamayim.
Migdal Hamayim. When my parents came here, they lived in this house, in a tent. And the second house that they built was the Migdal Hamayim. It's the water tower, and they built it for a few reasons. One of them is to supply water to the kibbutz, but also from security reason. People sat up there and watch around the kibbutz. We are very close to the border. And I like these photos because it's shown that time, that represent the goals that they live for me. And the goals was to create a new state for the Jewish people, to create a new society, but people wasn't so important. They all worked for the goals and they lived in tent.
Yeah, just think how it is. People came from all over the world, from Europe and all these places, and they came from having a house to living in a tent.
Our children told us we don't like it. We want to have a private things. We want to have our own private money, to decide about our life, because before, the kibbutz decide for our life. It decide who is going to study, what we're going to have in our house, if we have a television or no television. Just when they bought television for all the people, so people can allow to have television. If not, or nobody allowed to have television.
So your children now, the next generation, they don't live in this kibbutz?
They left the kibbutz.
They have a city life right now?
No, not right now. They left the kibbutz. All the third generation of the kibbutz, they left the kibbutz, and also some people in my age who have the ability to leave the kibbutz, because it was very hard for us to leave the kibbutz because we had no money. So we became in a big demographical situation and also economical situation for many reasons, economical reason, political reason, lack, managemental reason. Most of the kibbutzes became in a big economical and demographical problem, and we found that we need to make a big change in our life. What we can do, so we found that we need to become capitalistic society.
The kibbutz movement was an extremely important aspect of building the country of Israel, but in today's day and age, the capitalistic ideology dominates. Many of the kibbutz members had left the kibbutz in search for a different way of life. This resulted in many vacant rooms, which gave them a new idea.
We found that people like to live here. I mean, to come for an holiday. So we gave them to live in those for a few days in those rooms. But then we found that we need to establish it, to build something more hotels style. So we built this area in 1997 or something, 1997, 44 rooms. Nice rooms, small rooms actually, but they have a bigger room for families as well.
Yeah, well, there's so much to do here in the north that people could stop
Yes,
by
we are quite close to the Sea of Galilee, to the Golan Heights, even to Nazareth, Bet Shean.
The kibbutz is in the midst of lush meadows and gardens, creating a calm and peaceful environment. The hotel rooms reside in between the houses of the kibbutz members, which gives the guests a real sense of the communal lifestyle. What would you say is the best part of the hotel here at the kibbutz? What's unique about it?
The best part, and you also hear it from the guests, it's the peaceful atmosphere when they come here from the city, and everything is relaxing. There's animals around running that you can see them. You hear the birds in the morning, no cars. This is mainly.
So, who here wishes they were born on a kibbutz?
I definitely do. The communal lifestyle is definitely one of a kind.
It's one of a kind, but certainly not for me. I don't think I could do it.
No? Okay, well, to each their own. We all know Israel has an extensive history, so today Max is going to take us to the historical train station that's over a century old.
Yeah, apparently it's played a part in a bunch of historical things, and there's some guy there who's going to tell us all about it.
Let's go. We're now here at a train station that dates back to 1905. This place has seen 2 world wars, and we're about to hear more about it from Professor Giora. The railway's huge contribution was imperative to the country's development. It was also associated with the political and national struggles that shaped the history of the country. So we're now standing here in front of the building of a very historic train station. Why don't you tell us how far back this goes and the history behind it?
This train station is part of the Hijazi Railway, which went from Damascus down to help with the Muslim pilgrimage to Mecca. It didn't reach there, but nearly as far. And here it brought coal and other supplies from Haifa. It turned this area into an important strategic area in 2 wars, World War I, when the Australian Light Cavalry captured this area from the Turks, from the Ottoman Turks, and in the 1948 War of Israeli Independence, when there were very harsh fighting around this area between an invading Syrian army to our east and those defending this area.
The renowned railways was originally meant to increase control over the Ottoman Empire's territory, but this eventually became a tremendous impact to northern Israel. The launch of the train resulted in flourishing commerce and tourism in the region.
The railway and the train transformed this area, in many ways brought modernization, brought the Western modern ways to this area, with all the, in the same way like in the United States, when the train arrived in the West, it helped capture the West, colonize the West, build the West. Here, very similar things happened. The train would go from here to Haifa during the times of British Mandate, taking milk and other products, wheat, cattle, meat.
The Tzemach building is one of the 8 original buildings that was constructed along the railway line with Israel's territory. In addition to this building was also a 30-meter long platform, 4 parallel rail tracks, which was 300 meters long, and a big steel water tower which pumped water from the nearby Sea of Galilee for filling the steam engines. Now in current times, 2016, it's an attraction site for tourists and for people to come check it out, yeah?
Well, the famous train route is now going and operating again from last week all the way to Bet Shean. But the train will not be coming here. This is now a historic site. And the interesting thing here is that preservation is, together with Academy, this is now the center of the Israel Studies and Land of Israel Studies department at Kinneret College. This is also a tourist site where people come to see the area, the importance of it, and the Australian effort in particular, something that the college did, Kinneret College, together with the Australian Light Horse Association. So this is now a tourist area plus the academy.
The Tzemach Railways is now dedicated to academic use, as well as a visitor center and historical documentation of one of the most important railway sites in the history of Israel.
So we've learned a lot of history on this trip, and what do you guys say about doing a more extreme activity now?
Yes, I'm ready for that. Some action.
Open to whatever. What do you got in mind?
A Jeep tour around the Jordan Valley.
That actually sounds pretty cool. Let's do it.
Let's go!
What would a Cruising Israel show be without some extreme activities? Well, this one isn't too crazy, but it did get extremely loud and windy. We got a ride around the Jordan Valley, and we definitely learned a lot.
We are in the Golan. Although it's very low here, we are in the western slopes of the south of the Golan.
And just moments into our trip, behind all the palm trees and bushes, was a very interesting piece of history.
And in front of you is what left, or the ruins of a Syrian bunker. The Israeli IDF exploded it, and what is really interesting is that all around us used to be a little Syrian town called Aqib. It was called Aqib because it was built on an ancient Jewish village called Aqabiyah.
One of mine and Natalie's favorite thing to do here in Israel is to go fruit picking. So on our trip, we told our guide that it was a must to stop and pick fruit along the way. The edible ones, that is. And of course, we came by the non-edible ones.
What we see on the right here is a Lantis pistachio. Lantis, or we call it the masticating pistachio. It's a member of the family of the pistachio, but it's not to be eaten.
This non-edible pistachio may not be for consumption, but it can be used to help in medical ways.
It has special materials, especially in the sap, that make the tip of the nerves numb. People used to chew it when they had toothache, for example.
We made it to our destination. Now we're going to get a quick rundown on this beautiful view we see.
We reached to a place which is, actually it looks much higher, but it's not. It's not much higher because we're just above the lowest freshwater lake in the world. 210 meters below sea level. Here it's around minus 100 meters below sea level. Okay? Yeah, we climb and climb and climb, we're still minus. This is the western slopes of the south of the Golan. And in front of you is the upper Galilee, the lower Galilee. On the other side is Tiberias, for example, Mount Arbel, and on and on.
Wow, just from this very spot, you see so many different cities. This is definitely the place to be. Under the sea. Sea level, that is.
We can almost see all the lake. Yeah. 21 kilometers length and 11 kilometers width, which is really tiny.
So that's Tiberias over there?
Yeah, that's Tiberias over there.
So how much you said, 12?
11.
So 11 kilometers that way and we're in Tveria?
Yeah, exactly.
Tiberias, sorry.
Yeah.
Just a little under a dozen kilometers away and you're in Tiberias, another really popular city here in Israel. This country may be small, but the history it holds is undescribable.
And the average depth of the lake is 25. Unfortunately, the lake is in a really, really, really horrible condition. Yeah. We missed around 5 meters from the highest level, and for us it's bad.
Right. Of course, the people surrounding the lake do the most they can to help restore and prevent any further damage to it. But unfortunately, there's nothing one can do when it comes to Mother Nature.
We almost do not pump anything from the lake, and it's still dropping down.
So we were anxious to know what else this Jeep tour has in store for us. Up until now, we've learned, seen, and eaten. What else can we expect?
In that tour that we're going to do now, we're going to see two different terrains. One will be the mountains, ups and downs, as we did until now. And one will be that beautiful green valley that combines water. Water is something that we don't see a lot in Israel. And this is the water of Israel actually goes from there. And this is a kind of combination, a little bit of explanations about the area. And in that way, you don't get only a Jeep, you also get a guide.
And is there an age limit for people that can come?
Half a year.
Half a year old?
Half a year old.
Good.
From half a year and on, you can come, you can bring the baby seat, we will mount it with the safety seat belts, and...
Great.
All right, let's get rolling. Hopefully we'll see some more edible fruit along the way. So we found some fruit. Of course, the city gal was a little skeptical.
Look, they're unbelievable.
Yes. You're just gonna eat it without washing it, nothing?
It's only dust.
It's nature, my
Only
friend.
dust.
It's organic. Try it. Some of them, yeah. Some of them are sour. Some of them are. You can try it.
It's
It's
probably
horrible.
very sour. It's horrible, Max. You want?
The black ones?
Yeah,
But watch out.
There's thorns in there.
yeah, of course. It's blackberries, so they are prickly. A little bit. You know why they have thorns?
Did you try this one?
No, it's very sour. I love sour.
Try.
Let's see.
Is it that sour?
So sour.
Yeah, take it.
That sour.
Oh yeah.
These vines grow wildly. These are wild grapes. And now they are raisins.
Yes.
If you like raisins, these are the real taste of our raisins, not like the ones that people sell today.
So we spit
Not like the ones in the package?
Yeah.
There's pits and raisins and grapes.
Let's go.
What a ride. We got to see unbelievable views, pick some delicious fruits, and saw some adorable animals. But now it's time for a more relaxing activity.
So after our long and adventurous days, we usually like to relax. So what do you guys say about going to soak up in some hot springs?
With the sulfur water?
With the sulfur water.
Oh, I heard that's actually healthy for you.
I heard the smell stays with you. I hope that.
So we'll have a nice, fun ride home.
Yeah, we will.
Stay tuned.
We started this hot springs adventure by getting a ride on the golf carts, which take you from the reception area down to the hot springs and then around Hamat Gadel to see the historical sites and mini zoo.
Another dusty and adventurous day comes to an end. Nat, what do you say we take a dip in the hot springs?
Yes, I would love to. And these hot springs actually contain a natural mineral called sulfur. We will smell like rotten eggs at the end of it, but it's very good for you.
Max might kill us on our 2-hour drive back home, but it's worth it.
These hot springs, located in Hamat Gadel, were actually discovered over 1,800 years ago by the Roman Empire, who found this water springing from the earth. It is not recommended to go in with jewelry, so make sure to take it all off before entering the pools. Due to their many medical qualities, the water is constantly at a 35 to 42 degrees Celsius, or roughly around 95 to 107 degrees Fahrenheit.
So hot. It may not seem like we're burning hot right now, but we're really burning up. We really are. We are burning up.
Gosh, smell this.
Yeah.
Some of the health benefits in soaking in these sulfur pools include release of joint pains, rejuvenation of skin cells, speeding the metabolism, and so many more. Not only does this spring site include the large pool we're swimming in now, it also has waterfalls, jacuzzis, and comfort beds. Wow, okay, we got a little hot in there. We're gonna wash off and continue on our way. Next stop, the Roman ruins.
This is beautiful. The Roman ruins. How clean. There used to be a pool right over there with sulfur water.
Yeah?
Yeah. It dried up. It would come out of the little fountain that they made and then have a little pool of sulfur, hot spring sulfur water. Sorry. Danger. This is supposed to be a no. Oh, it mentions.
To think of all the ruins we're stepping on now is just mind-blowing. We're so grateful to be able to see such ancient architecture, so much history. Now on to the zoo.
To the animals. To the animals we go.
Unfortunately, we came a little late in the day.
אני חושב שעכשיו כרגע היה פה קופים, הכניסו אותם כרגע.
But we did get the chance to see some other wild animals. We also saw some alligators, but Nat was convinced they were fake.
Not convinced that these are real. It's fake. There can't be 20 alligators a foot away from humans. No. Just no.
She's 100% convinced that these alligators are not real.
No.
I don't understand how you think they're not real.
You gotta charge them. You plug them into the wall. Or you put in some batteries.
So our guide had to prove to her that they were. He showed us a video where they were actually feeding the alligators. After that short debate, we continued on our way to see other animals such as emus and parrots. So for those of you who want to relax and get away to soak in some hot springs and see some interesting animals, make sure to check out Hamat Gadel during your trip to Israel.
Well, what a way to wrap up our northern adventure.
Join us again next Sunday right here on ILTV.
See you then.
See ya.